righteous name of the Lord Supreme. Trust in the Lord that a lot of y'all had a good evening, took care of your responsibilities, did what you needed to do, handled what you needed to handle, been productive, progressive, and prosperous and positive today. You know, I had me a blessed day today. I had no complaints. So, I always keep it moving in the direction where it need to be moved forward. You feel me? Anyways, what I wanted to do, right, is I wanted to build in regards of today's math, which is a law of God. That's number 7 in our supreme mathematics. I was just watching one of the speeches by Neville Goddard. And one of the speeches that I always like watching, and I always watch it over and over again because it gives you a real indication of who and what is God. Now, today's supreme mathematics is the law of God. The law is none other than the original man. God is the supreme being, the most highest form of living mathematics, and planning, breathing, operating, functioning, and conducting himself in a manner as righteous and as progressive as he's supposed to be as a king. Now, a lot of times, and I'm going to say this because it's true. A lot of individuals don't want to wrap their brain around the concept of God. They just feel comfortable with what they have because there's no sense of looking into it. There's no sense of learning the concept, understanding why the concept fits the way it's supposed to fit and what the concept means intricately, meaning detailed. A lot of people was talking about, there's 2 things you can't talk about, God and politics. Like, no, you can talk about all of that stuff because all of those things go hand in hand. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because it's not comfortable and it's not convenient for them, for their situation. They're like, well, what are we talking about that for? What is that going to do for me? It's going to do a lot for you once you understand the true meaning behind the concept of what's being said and what's being conveyed as far as the message is concerned. So if you got a man, Neville Goddard, color man, explaining to you in detail, and he's using biblical scriptures that a lot of pastors, preachers, reverends, deacons, bishops don't even use. He's going into detailed approaches in different parts of the Bible. Now, yeah, okay, we can say that, yeah, he's only using the Bible to, help people understand his concept. Why hasn't he used the Quran? There might have been situations where he has used the Quran. There's situations that he might have even read the Quran and was like, yo, the Bible and the Quran are one and the same. Now, a lot of times people don't want to say that because it's different time periods. Yes, that's true indeed. What I'm saying is the concept of God and understanding the concept is what I'm talking about. So how would I be able to break this down to you? Well, we heard it in music, we heard it in poems, and we heard it in phrases. One of the phrases that I've learned, I got to find out the name of the author so that way I can get back to y'all, brothers, on this, is he said, if man wanted to be, he said, man, God is close to man as fish are to the ocean. Wrap that concept around your head and around your brain. Go find out what that means. Because one thing about it is that a lot of times, how, you're a child in school and you don't feel like you're as smart as everybody else. So what you start doing is you start looking at other people's papers, start copying, and you want to find a shortcut because you don't want to take the time to actually study, or you didn't study. And now it's falling back on you and it's taking its toll. Meaning that now that you have studied this concept, understood the concept, now you're falling behind in the subject matter. Everybody else is ahead in the subject matter. You're just like stagnant. So what do I mean? Research is incumbent upon you. This is why when you're in school, they tell you to do your homework. Your work is at home. And why? Because you have to study. You have to research. You have to know what the concept of what you're dealing with is. You can't sit here and just be like, oh yeah, I know it. And I know we all had this situation. We said that we studied, we didn't really study. The teacher called on us. So, such and such. What do you think about this? And you're like, in their mind, or in their mind, or in the man's mind, or in the woman's mind, whatever type of teacher you had, whatever gender teacher you had, they're saying to me, themselves, he didn't study and research, so he don't know. So now we are in a standstill with this person, because now this person could be possibly falling back on his work that he didn't study or research, even at home, even when it was told to him. So how would that all correlate with what I'm saying? That in itself means that you need to understand the science of God as you get older. Like, look at every concept that you're talking about. We're talking about God in a religious context. Everybody want to be religious with God, but nobody want to be cultural, and nobody want to be righteous with him. You know what I'm saying? God is not religious. God is righteous. He's a righteous man. You know, and the thing about it is, a lot of people don't even know what the word man means. This is where a lot of discrepancies come into place, a lot of arguments, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of misnomers. There are things that are metaphorical, symbolic, allegorical, and sometimes you have to be able to break the concept down and decipher what's being said, or what the meaning of what's being said is. You know, so like, I'm gonna go through 2 lessons today. I'm gonna go through 2 lessons today. All right, and I'm gonna correlate it, and I'm going to correlate it with today's Supreme Mathematics. All right, so look, check this out. Okay. We deal with today's degree in the 1 to 40. Pardon, so we deal with today's degree in the 1 to 40. How fast is our plane to travel? 1,000, pardon, so answer, 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. Now, that's the law of God degree in a 1 to 40. Now, when we deal with the 1,037, there's something that's deeper than just the numbers, the math that you see. You could take your knowledge and add it onto the cipher, so your understanding can be seen through what the science of who and what is God. So you understand the concept of who and what is God. Once you have the knowledge, you add it onto your cipher. Once your cipher is complete in regards to that knowledge that you got, now you can have a full and a better understanding of the science of who and what a law of God is. Now, let's not even just go there. Let's go a little bit deeper than that. Now, we got knowledge to add cipher degree in the 1 to 40. That's number 10. Okay? The 10th lesson in the 1 to 40, Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2. So, it says, who is that mystery God? Answer, there is no mystery God. The Son of Man has been searching for that God for trillions of years and been unable to find him. So they agree that the only God is the Son of Man, and they would lose no time searching for that which does not exist. Okay? Now, we go to the understanding of law of God degree in the 1 to 40. What did the devil teach the 85%? That God is a righteous and unseen being. Is this everywhere? Now, this is a 2-part question. Allah is God of the heavens above and in the earth below, and is just and true, and there is no unrighteousness in him. For he's not unseen, he's seen and heard everywhere, for he's the all-eye seeing. Now, individuals won't wrap their brain around that concept of God being a man. Why? Because for many years, months, and days, we all said man is doomed to flaw, man is doomed to fall, man is always in error. But you don't even know what man is if you're saying all of that. You're just going off of a Merriam-Webster dictionary definition. You need to go a little bit deeper than that. And then within that definition, there is root words and etymology and elements that play a role in that definition. So most of the time when individuals are talking about the concept of God and man, they separate the two. But there's no separation. There's no separation. I just told you 2 lessons that correlate with what people be talking about. They think God is somewhere outside of themselves. He's some mystery God. He works in mysterious ways. However, when we're dealing with the concept of God, God is just as real as you and I, because he is you and I. Mere men. Even in the Bible, it tells you that. But people can't wrap their brain around the concept because they are not reading between the lines. People are not taking the actual time to really study and understand. You could go through different religions and really see they're talking about God being man. Some might not say that in those words specifically or in detail, but that is what's being said ultimately. We all say that, man can never be God. Why? Why? And for what reason that we can? What will cause us not to be? Our own self, our own flaws, our own faults, our own shortcomings. The divine is all in the mind. God is in the mind. God is born in the mind, birthed through man, and seen through man. I know a lot of people might not even agree with this video, but that's cool. Because I'm not looking for you to agree. I'm looking for you to study and research. That's the whole thing I'm looking for. I don't give a damn how many things I tell you about God, law, and all of that. It's all interchangeable terms that mean the same thing, man. It's just like saying spirit and energy. It's just interchangeable terms. One is religious, one is scientific. But if you bring it all together and correlate it, it'll all make sense to you. Now, a lot of people subscribe to my channel, and a lot of people don't even watch my channel, which is cool. I'm not looking for you to. I'm just looking for you to understand where I'm coming from and why I'm coming from where I'm coming from. Because a lot of times, we don't even take knowledge through 6 steps. And what are those 6 steps? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. 6 steps that we got to take knowledge through in order for it to be born and be understood clearly and revealed to you the right way. See, a lot of times we question and we just leave it alone. We're like, okay, well, that makes sense. But in reality, it still don't make sense to you. And so in reality, you still don't get the concept because the concept has never been gotten from the first place because you never even wanted to take the time to study. You only did what you felt like you needed to do. You just took it on face value and just ran with it. You didn't even see whether or not what the person was saying was true. You know what I'm saying? There are men that are amongst you that can tell you that man is God. But a lot of us, even the hardest person to convince is a woman that you God. You can't just tell a woman that. You can't just tell anybody that. Because they're going to be looking for one thing. Your works and your actions and your deeds. Works, actions, deeds. Show me the example of what God is. Okay. And then I want to show you then what. Are you going to now know or still study? You're going to still study because as time goes on, people are going to begin to revere and respect you. Revere and admire you. So like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys, man. I just did this for 14 minutes, so I got to get back to what I'm doing. But anyways, you guys take it easy. You have a good night. Keep building. Peace and love, 5% Nation.